Today I want to focus on technique and how to develop speed, accuracy, and control. Can you give us a few tips or rudiments on how to accomplish this goal?
That's a common question that I get asked is, how do you get your feet so fast? Or does it hurt your hands, does it hurt your arms when you get going at certain speeds? And really, the only way to get faster or to get better technique is to just constantly be playing or constantly be working. I'm not the type of person that sat and learned every rudiment that there is to know, and I know quite a few from drumline and stuff like that, but my favorite rudiment is paradiddles. Paradiddles and then flams. And I use a lot of those too in my playing as well, and stuff like that. But what I did when I was learning and first developing my technique was I was studying out of the stick control book, and that's a super common book that everybody knows about. But it's just really about disciplining your muscles and your hands and your wrists to making sure that you have a 90-degree angle between your sticks. So like you can put a piece of paper right there up in the corner, or right here on the drum, and the corner will fit in between the sticks. And making sure that if you have like if you were to trickle water down your arm, I was always told make sure that the water won't roll off your arm. That your form, technique goes so much further beyond just your hands. It goes with your posture, it goes with how you're sitting, the angles of your body, where you have your feet planted, where your snare drum is in comparison to the rest of your body and how you're sitting, your reach around your kit. There's so much more that goes into having good technique than just being able to play like tons of different rudiments. And the biggest thing for me is just really disciplining yourself to slow speeds, slow tempos, at very, very low volumes, and just making sure that your hands are even, your strokes are even. And then once you get comfortable enough in it, it's sewn into your muscle memory, then you can speed up and then work at different volumes too, and stick heights. Make sure that you're working every angle, volume, stick height. And making sure that you're really working your wrist and not your arm. You don't want to look like the wind-up monkey toy. And that's what I was told. That was like Diane Downs. She always told us that when we were in the Leopards. She was like, why are you playing like this? You look like a wind-up monkey toy. And so it takes a lot of I keep saying discipline because that's all it is. You have to sit like this and not look at all the different drums that are around you or all the different cymbals or cowbells or whatever, and really just focus on this right here, your center, because everything else will come naturally. But you want to make sure that before you start even grooving, like a lot of times I work with my students, and if they're beginners, I just teach them like paradiddles and eighth notes and quarter notes, and I teach them the basics, the fundamentals, so that as they get older and they progress, they know where everything goes back to. And it all literally just, as you do it more and you work more, it just comes naturally. So then, you'll be playing. You might be playing that. And or like flams. There's so much control that goes into a flam because it's hard for people to make sure that they do the tiny little grace note before the big note. And it's hard for them to not come back here with both their hands, but to control the left hand or the right hand, depending on what type of flam you're doing. But to control that lower hand to make sure that it's not, but it's, and to keep it there regardless of how fast you're going. Flam taps, those are super hard to get fast. But again, it's just flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, tap, flam, tap. But it's all getting as fast as you want to get is all entirely up to you, because it is all going to depend on how much time you put into it, how much you discipline yourself to really learn the rudiment before you just try to go as fast as you can. Like, a lot of people naturally just want to go really fast right away, but they don't take the time to learn the foundation or the fundamentals. And then they may be able to play fast, but it sounds sloppy because they don't know, specifically what each hand or what each stroke needs to be doing. So they're playing it fast, but it's not accurate. And that's one thing that I've always stressed on, is making sure that I don't care how fast you can play, I don't care how slow you can play, I don't care how crazy your chops are. I want to know that you're playing accurate and clean and even. Because that's just how I was brought up, like playing in drumline and stuff on the snare line. I was on the snare line all 4 years in high school, so everything had to be like, everything had to match with all of our drums.
Yep.
And like our instructor would like get down at our level, like get down at our drums like this and make sure that our stick strokes were hit, like our sticks were hitting at the same time on all of our drums, and our stick heights matched. And so that's where a lot of my discipline and like hard work came in, was in high school, because I was on the snare line. And so I was just like constantly like even doing this forever and ever and ever until it just felt natural. Like forever, just going over the basics. And then I did the same thing with my feet, and that's how my feet got to where they are. Is I took that same, the same first 4 or 5 exercises in that stick control book on the very first page. After I worked my hands doing the different stickings and stuff, I did the same thing with my feet until I felt like my legs were going to fall off. Yeah. And that's just how it happens. It's all about discipline, self-control, and making sure that you're hitting everything accurately. So.